unusual saying hello to everybody. My name is Jasmina from Jasmina Astrology. Thank you all for being here. I want to welcome Hannah today from Hannah Elsewhere. Hi, Hannah. How are you?
Hi, Jasmina. I'm so excited for today. Yes, I'm excited to talk about Valentine's Day.
I
Let's
know.
do
So,
this.
as many of you know, Hannah and I did many different topics and collaborations, and I love having her on my channel. So today we decided we want to chat about more about a Valentine's Day, because it's a little energies of this year's Valentine's Day are going to be a little bit different than we would expect for a romantic dinner or romantic date or having a nice. It doesn't mean it's not going to be good. It's just we want to tell everybody what's out there so you can make your decisions and make the best date of your life. That's why we're here. So I hope everybody, I don't know if I have comments on so I can see. Yes, hi Alexander Washman.
Hi.
I hope I pronounced it well. um and also, if yeah, I don't know if I can. Yeah, I don't know if I can share the I don't know. I was gonna share the chart of the chart, but I don't know. It's something unable to screen my share. Life. Okay. Then I'll try later. Before we go into details, Washman is sufficient. Okay, thank you, Alexander. So before we go into more detail for each sign, Hannah, what are your thoughts on this Valentine's Day?
Ooh. Uh, Passionate for sure. I think it could be
Okay.
really quite heated
Mhm.
for especially for certain signs. But I also think that there can be some resolve, and maybe that resolve can be via like looking within ourselves and kind of focusing more on our own healing. I think it depends on the inner work that we've been doing when it comes to like arguments and stuff like that. But I do think that I think it can be great for intimacy, you know, with Pluto and Mars.
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, intimacy
I like
and
that. So a
mm,
positive twist on it. We got a twist and a positive twist. I like that. Um, so I was able to pull up the chart. I don't know if you see it. I was able to pull up the chart for Valentine's Day. It's just a general chart with Aries rising, so don't mind the houses. But overall, what I like, as you mentioned, there's a moon is in Taurus along with Jupiter, so that gives us extra sensuality, extra being in touch with our senses, right? And then, as you mentioned, I know that Mars and Pluto together, and it can be feisty and fiery, but on the other hand, it can be very sexy and in really sexual and sensual at the same time. So it can be really good, as you said. I like that. We can twist it like that. Awesome.
mhm, mhm.
What else is very significant? I mean, Venus is in Capricorn still. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that points toward maturity within
Mhm.
relationships, approaching relationships from a mature perspective, and maybe as well building upon relationship values and
Mhm.
being somewhat adult-like about the type of future that you may seek to build, or even if it is that um, that things do become a bit too heated in that way, there is a way to keep somewhat controlled, I think, to practice self-control and a
Mhm.
bit of discipline too, maybe.
So, like I would say, like it's going to be a responsibility. So we won't just jump everywhere with everybody. Let's say we're going to be more responsible. Within what I with our date choices, sexual choices. I have to mention we're talking about love, guys, and Valentine's Day. We're going to mention word sex. Maybe I am a bit more than usual. I'm misbehaving. Hi, Jenny Fernandez.
Hi, hi.
He has an anniversary on this Valentine's Day, 16th anniversary. Well,
Ah,
stay at home in bed. That's our advice for this week. Especially if it's your anniversary, don't go anywhere. Don't get involved with anybody. uh, the arguments. What do you make of this stellium in Aquarius? Like we have Sun, Mercury, Mars, Pluto, and then I know Venus is going to join just a couple of days later. What would you say as an Aquarian yourself? How would you describe this whole stellium in Aquarians?
I think maybe to look at it from a challenging perspective, of course, with the squares happening to Jupiter and Uranus there in Taurus. Of course, they're both fixed signs, right? Aquarius and Taurus. Okay, sure. It could be where things are a lot more cooler or cold or detached. And it can also suggest coming at things from this conceptual place and really pushing to sort of, demand authority and this is my way and this is what I want. So that could happen. But I think at the same time, this challenge could also perhaps help us see things from a much bigger perspective. I kind of think of Aquarius as being able to zoom out and see the bigger picture in terms of like that bird's eye view. And when Aquarius can lean into that, along with not just coming from the head and also from the heart at the same time, I think this energy could be quite helpful. So trying perhaps to remember, like, lean more into like the Taurus qualities a bit, because it outbalances all the Aquarius outbalances the Taurus. So trying to lean more into the grounding and coming from the heart. But then I think at the same time, just to finish this point, is Saturn being the dispositor of all of that, it is making that lovely sextile to Jupiter. So I think that could suggest a supportive energy.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, but you kind of have to work on it. It's not going to be there. So that's the whole point of what I would say. You have to kind of make an effort to make it happen the way it's going to be lovely. It's not going to be just by itself. Sometimes we have energies that are just flowing. This is great opportunity. I like that what you said. Yeah. So tuning into Taurus energy, because we have Moon and Jupiter together. So it's actually great day to have like a great dinner, like enjoy really the food, the body, the candlelights, everything, music, all get it all out, and just forget about the possible tensions. Don't. My only concern is because people. Did I? Okay. My only concern is that people get sometimes, everything starts good. Like everything is good, and then during the dinner or something, during the conversation, something comes up from the past, and then it starts, because we have Mercury there as well, and then it can start, it's still wide, so hopefully it won't happen. But like everything starts, in movies, like they have a dinner, everything is good, and then somebody says something from the past, and then like they start arguing, and then everything goes bananas. So like making an effort, like conscious effort, not to talk about hard topics, I would say, that can make you like opinionated. Just don't talk about, mortgage or kids or, some issues that you have. Forget about that. Like have a great day and date to forget about, arguments. That I would say that, because this can go sideways if you don't make conscious effort of it in that sense.
That's great advice.
Yeah, because it happens. It happens. I like that. I mean, Jupiter, Uranus in Taurus also invites us to start to try something different. To try something adventurous, unusual in that sense. From that earthy, bodily perspective. Even if you do couples massage or something, I would say that would be a nice thing, like going for a spa as a couple and doing all that stuff. Taurus is about pleasures of, being aware of your body and pleasures of body. So start with that maybe as a suggestion. I don't know. Awesome.
Love it.
Cool. Would you add anything in general, or we can just jump to the rising signs?
Yeah, I think I would really agree with you on that, Jasmina. That sort of the central piece with Taurus, especially with the moon being there. I mean, the moon's exalted in Taurus, so maybe that is kind of like a suggestion of just lean into that energy. And with the conjunction to Jupiter, it's also just like, let's just try and have a good time. Let's enjoy the moment. Let's be together. I even think this could very well, and I know that this is typically what tends to happen anyway during Valentine's Day, but you know, people getting engaged, right? It's such a stereotypical thing. But because Saturn is sextile Jupiter, and then also Venus is in Capricorn, these engagements could be where the marriage is long lasting. These are long lasting relationships, you know, marriages in that way. That could be something.
I love it. I love it. And now you're going to see all these proposals after our video. Yay. I love it. I think it's a great, yes, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Venus in Capricorn is very responsible, as we mentioned. So you know, you can give that, you know, sense of, and thinking about the long term. What do you want in a relationship in a long term, and what do you desire in that sense? So I like that. That's very good. Before we go actually to rising signs, I just thought about somebody else. What about singles? What would we say for singles? Because we don't want to forget about singles.
Of course. Well, perhaps because there is so much Aquarius energy, Aquarius can also tend to be more of an independent thinker and doer. You know, Aquarius likes to be a part of the group and within friendships. That could be another thing, you know, we could see. Because there's the whole thing with Valentines and, you know, friends coming together during Valentine's as well. So there could be some sharing of the love there. But then Aquarius also can be an individual. So maybe a lot of that Aquarius energy can point toward just greater like a greater comfortability, perhaps, you know, in that, you know, I accept that, yeah, I'm single and I'm not gonna maybe let other things, you know, disrupt me, because Valentine's Day can, for certain people, not all the time, but it can trigger, you know, it can trigger feelings of loneliness, you know, it can trigger feelings of like, you know, I'm not with anyone, or maybe if you've been through a breakup, that could be hard, right? That could be hard. So I think the Aquarius energy could perhaps, oh, that's so cute. I love it. I love it.
See, I just wanted to give to all the singles some love. To all the single people out there, some love. There you go.
Yes, exactly.
You know what? Awesome. It's a great day to, it's a great day for self-love. So indulge yourself. You still have Taurus energy there. You go and get yourself a great meal. You go get yourself a massage, a facial, whatever you want, right? So, right? So self-love. Think about, you know,
love it.
How you want to indulge yourself and give, you know, what your desires and pleasures are, and just do it. So anyway. So I didn't want to interrupt you. I was inspired by your talk.
So good. Yes.
So Jeannie says, so we are adding buns to the menu. Yes, we are. We are adding buns to the menu like that. And Misbehaving says, I accidentally on both videos on different devices. Yeah. So Instagram is working. I love it. Misbehaving. This is true Gemini fashion. We go on multiple things. And they're single ladies. Jeannie singing single ladies.
Yes, that's perfect. Yes, perfect.
I love it. I love it. Oh, awesome. Okay. So we covered everybody. So let's go from Aries. What do you want to start? So we have, this is like an Aries rising chart for the world. But you can you can see what's happening. So they have the stellium in the 11th house and everything. The Taurus is in the pleasure house, second house with the moon. So this is great for Aries. What do you think?
Yeah, I can see that. I think to come at it from I'm kind of thinking now, to come at it from a relationship perspective and also the single perspective.
Yes.
The relationship perspective, I think, could be quite pleasurable and comforting in that way, because there's the moon and Jupiter in the second house. And I kind of think of the second house as well as how we comfort ourselves. and seek pleasure. So that could be quite positive for if you're in a relationship. And then that perhaps the Venus energy in the 10th house could maybe suggest some time off work, hopefully. Hopefully you have it. But then again, it could be that with Venus in the 10th, there's just more of a desire to want to focus on like profession related matters. Yeah, what do you think?
Before I start, I just want to say Katrina is here. Hi, Katrina. She says on a lunch break and
Hi.
she's listening. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Katrina.
It's so nice to see you all, guys. I really love it. I feel that as long they're gonna probably want to be themselves. With the Chiron in the North Node in the first house, they really want to showcase themselves the whole year, and they're starting from last summer. So as long as they appreciate the other person and being aware that they're having a date or are in relationship with other, in that sense, that they give some appreciations to the others, they can be really lovely, as you said, sensual night. They have Ceres on top there, on top of the chart, so it can be really, really good. I love it because Ceres is about caring and showing, nurturing. So it can be a really, really lovely evening for Aries. With the Neptune in the 12th also gives them maybe they get in tune with something out of this world and, be more romantic, right? So in that sense, maybe this Neptune give us, because for Aries rising, they're not known for romance, but in this sense, they can feel it maybe better with Neptune there, maybe subconsciously, not not knowing that they and show some romantic appreciations, but they can maybe offer their partner some material goods, like a good gift, like with the Taurus in the second, with all this, because Moon is there and Jupiter and Uranus, they might be the gifter, like a big gifter for Valentine's. What do you think? Maybe.
Yeah, I agree. I think that can indicate with gift giving and materials in that way. And what you're saying there with Neptune, I quite like that Neptune is making that sextile to Venus. So that I think that is sort of like its own little. I know it's Venus is exalted in Pisces, but that's kind of like its own little mini exaltation because of the blend of energies. But yeah, I think that could be quite a nice combination for Aries. It's like just daring to dream and as you say, tapping more into some romance and fantasy. Oh, bit of dress up, bit of
some role playing there. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because they want to show off. So Aries, there you go. You have a great suggestion now from us. So I love it. Jeannie says, I feel like Chiron North Node conjunction the first along with the second house placements, they will be challenged with figuring out the extent of their own value. So a lot of self-focus. Yes, that can be a challenge. But as we mentioned, if you don't go too deep on this Valentine's Day, just keep it on the pleasure side, not on the deep side. This time we suggest not to go this deep because with Pluto and Mars together, it can go the wrong way. I would wait until the energies kind of wean on, and then Janie says, definitely a time of clarity and intuition can play a huge role in figuring out they need to focus on in terms of their values. Absolutely.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. Great insights.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank
you. So
you.
you heard it, Aries. Think about what we said and enjoy your Valentines. Okay, I have to apologize, Hannah. I didn't make all 12 charts. I didn't have time, so we're gonna have to wiggle it.
That's okay. Yeah, no problem.
So for Taurus, we're gonna move this Moon and Jupiter and Uranus in the first house, and all the stellium of Aquarius goes to the 10th. What are your thoughts for Taurus?
Yeah, it could be cool. Okay, with Chiron and the North Node in Aries, of course, the conjunction is gonna be taking place there. That conjunction I think lasts for a good bit throughout February. But in the 12th house, it could be where many Taurus individuals are really just focusing more on their own healing and any sort of major triggers that have come up for them and working through them and kind of perhaps trying to assess, what is it about their inner world that they would like to change with regard to initiating and being assertive, etc. So it could be challenging in that regard for Taurus, but with Jupiter and the moon in the first house, I think that could look at greater adventure, exploration, trying things maybe a little bit, outside of their comfort zone. This has been happening, I think, with many Taurus, with Uranus and Jupiter transiting their first house for a good while. They're really being pushed to try something new and to go for the change in life. So we could maybe see more of that coming up during Valentine's Day for them. What do you think?
I agree. I was just going to say, I would encourage all the Taurians out there to challenge themselves and try really something different this Valentine's Day. I know you probably want to go to your favorite restaurant, have your favorite meal, and just enjoy it with the moon there. I know, but try different meal. At least that. Also, I'm feeling with the Aquarian energy in the 10th house. It's also screaming freedom. It's also screaming, difference. I wanna showcase something different in the world. So don't be, maybe from the place of hurt, as you said, with the Chiron and North Node in the 12th, they might do a rash decision and showcase something, or want to break free from something if they don't get what they want. Because Aquarius wants to be free, and it's in the 10th house. It's what they want to show off. Break free. This is enough. I can't take it. If they're not happy, and they want to indulge themselves with the moon and Jupiter in their sign in the first house. They really will think about their own pleasures. So I just worry that they don't break up, make breakups or something, maybe, or if it's not something is not going in their pleasurable favor. Okay. So instead of making some chaotic, irrational, because I think some of the Taurians maybe do want to break free from everyday stuff. Maybe they're sick of what's happening. They want to change. I don't know, on the other side, right? Because there's a lot of Aquarian energy in the air. So think about compromising between trying something new and not be rash. I don't know, from the place of hurt. I don't know, maybe I'm going the wrong way, but I'm just feeling maybe from the place of hurt, they can just make some rational decisions in that sense.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think with Venus being in their 9th house, plus the Neptune energy in their 11th, firstly with Venus being their chart ruler, that Venus energy could maybe point toward them maybe going on a trip, right? That could be a thing. They could maybe go traveling, or perhaps they decide to take on a course, because you get courses and programs that you can do with your with your significant other. Or this could just be on their own, right? Or this could even be with a group of friends with the Neptune energy. Could even be where there's some partying, or they just have a bit of it's more by fun in that way, or just escapism, escaping. And
I like that. So maybe that, because with that need for freedom, they can just go on a trip. I like that. So that's the new and adventurous thing. Just going on some kind of a trip. I like that. Spa is still a good idea for them. I think the spa, the wellness weekend is for Taurians in this sense would be really good. Really good.
Yes, like wellness, or like a retreat, a nice sort of spiritual retreat or something. Or I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Taurians, you heard it here first. Okay, amazing. Okay, Geminis. Geminis. So they have everything in the 9th house, and the Taurus energy, where's the moon, is in the 12th, of course, right? So that's a little bit. So we have this 9th house emphasis of wanting to break free, explore, and expand. And then we have this urge to be actually in solitude with the moon there. What do you feel?
I feel like, Jasmina, you should take the lead for this one because you have so much Gemini. Like you're going to speak well on this.
Well, I know. So the thing is with this energy, Geminis love Aquarian energy because they can talk about, they can express their intellectual part of themselves. It really expands their mind. Aquarians always, expand their mind and give them food for thought, which is Gemini's food. So this is, especially in the 9th house, going out there, right? It's in the 9th house. The Aquarian energy. So the only thing that can happen, because the moon is in the 12th, and moon in the 12th requires some solitude, some thinking before saying. So and then Aquarius is a fixed energy in the house of strong beliefs, and our beliefs, they can be very strong, and we can get into argument if we don't get enough time maybe to think things through. We can go into argument about what do we believe, where do we stand in this world. So I don't know, I'm trying to look at the positive things. The Saturn and Neptune are in the 10th house, so it can also intuition on the outside. I don't know, I would rather have them quiet night, reading a book or watching or watching a travel documentary than going in. If you can spend the night with your partner, just maybe not interacting as much, and but having a mutual activity you both enjoy, like watching a movie. With the Neptune in the 10th and a full 9th house, exploring in that sense. So maybe a movie night would be better than a dinner, just because you can have time to reflect what you watch. And then I don't know, because Jupiter and Uranus are also there, so it's a mental. So like our mental world is hidden. So like psycho. When you have Uranus in the 12th house, it can be very anxious and chaotic, and in that sense, right? It can be stimulus and buzzing, your mind, like your subconscious in that sense. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think I can sort of understand in what you're saying, because like if there's so much of that Uranus energy plus all of that Aquarius energy, that and with Mercury being the chart ruler for Gemini, I can maybe follow you along with this and just overstimulated. And maybe that's perhaps why the moon Jupiter in the 12th can maybe act as a bit of a comforter, like to try and just slow it down. I would definitely agree with that. And what I like is the Venus energy in the 8th for Gemini. I think what could come up in this way is just a lot of questions and seriousness surrounding partnership and the future of partnership and commitment in that way. And intimacy could very well be a big part of Gemini's experience over Valentine's Day. And then I'm trying to think, the Venus energy mixed with the Neptune energy.
Yeah.
So that would be more the 10th house. Perhaps that can highlight. Oh, so thinking, this is just where my mind went, and it's maybe a bit silly.
I love it.
But thinking about the role play stuff, this could be maybe through more of a like business or domineering dominatrix.
Okay. The 8th house is involved. Yes. Venus is in the 8th for them. Yes, I see that.
Yeah, that'll definitely, hopefully, get Gemini out of their heads.
No, Gemini. Yeah, it's good. I mean, like they're going to be stimulated to do something, to explore different things, right? Like Aquarius in the ninth house, they're going to be really, but I'm just saying there's going to be a push down from this Taurian, because Gemini, Geminis usually have difficulties with Taurian energy just because it's slow. They're so fast, and so I'm feeling that with their mind, I think this Valentine's Day, the energies are asking them to slow down a bit. Okay, and as you said, so slow down a bit, and then maybe turn more to intimacy, not just superficial. Because usually they have, how they, me as a Gemini, you go and you want to do so many things. I want to go see the movie and dinner and go there, and then dancing afterwards, and all over the place, and then you kind of, you so much fun. Maybe this time you need to slow down. That's my point. Kind of slow. That's why I said maybe more intimate than just watch a movie, and then as you say, some role plays after. That would be good. with imagination, showing off your imagination in the 10th. They can show off their imagination to their partners, right? For singles, it can be a little bit hard for singles, I feel, because they're gonna feel the urge to do something and be intimate with somebody. Do something you really enjoy and have pleasures in. As I said, travel documentaries. I would suggest, it's always a fun time for Geminis. If you can travel physically, you can travel through screen.
And I'm trying to see. They've got so they have so Vesta would be in the second house.
No, Vesta is in the first.
The first house. Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
She's in Gemini. She's in Gemini.
Yeah. So yeah, for the singles piece, then that could be quite, maybe just leaning into the, as you're saying, just more about educating, learning, stuff like that, because Vesta is sort of like your eternal flame. It's protecting it, and it's more about the devotion to, with Vesta being in Gemini, devotion to your intellectual projects, and just a little bit more time to harness, and to protect the things that you're learning. And that can maybe be a good focus, maybe a supportive focus for Gemini during Valentine's Day, if it is that things do become maybe a bit too overwhelming for Gemini.
I love it. And Juno is in Virgo, which is a squaring energy for them, right? So about partnerships and commitments, it can be like a hard aspect, thinking about it. I wouldn't think about partnerships and commitments, if you're single, especially. Oh, why am I single? I want to, try to avoid those thoughts, because it's really with Uranus in the 12th and the moon there, so if you're single, I really would suggest that you find a way to not think that night. Okay, keep yourself occupied and find where your heart is, as Hannah said. Yeah, awesome. Okay, Cancerians. So let's Cancer. So they have nothing in the first. So in the 10th, so they have Chiron and North Node in the 10th house, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Aquarius is, I think in the 8th, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Aquarius energy in the 8th and Taurus energy in the 11th. Oh, that's interesting. What is your take on that?
Well, all of the 8th house energy could be quite significant for Cancerians, because it could be that there's so much of this inner part of them that is trying to break free, or trying to break through, and maybe it's craving real strong connection and togetherness, and wanting to sort of even be a part of something that's bigger than them, thinking about purpose related themes in this way. And even with Venus being in their 7th house as well, that could further add to that. There is a big emphasis, I think, on Cancerians toward the relationships, over Valentine's Day. And that Venus energy in the 7th, I think, could it could indicate that there is greater commitment and responsibility and integrity as well coming up within relationships. Then again, of course, with all that energy going on in the opposite kind of side of the chart, especially in the 7th, 8th houses, unconscious drives, unconscious motivations coming to the surface. But it's also, right, it's also how you work with it, how they can work with those things. I think just even with Pluto transiting the 8th house for Cancer over the next 20 years, and with these kind of activation points with Mars and Mercury and all of the Aquarius, this, I think, I love this for Cancerians, because they're going to be able to become really very powerful and strong when it comes to their unconscious and bringing it to light and like seeing it for what it is, and then they can transform. And Cancerians are going to go through like the craziest transformations over the next 20 years. Yeah.
Regaining their power back, being aware, right, of their true power. I like it. The issue with this is that because it's the Aquarian energy for them is inconjunct. So what does that mean? Is that it's really, it's really irritating. They don't understand it. They have nothing in common with it. So that's why they have hard things to embrace it and use it. It takes them more time it needs more adjustment than usual. And it's a lot of Aquarian energy. So it's like a lot of things they don't understand, that they don't have anything in common with. And it's working in their, as you said, in their psychology, working with it. So it is challenging, but they love Taurian energy, and it's in the 11th house. So it's about, going out, having fun, networking, socializing. They can go dancing, they can go maybe for a dance night or something, that you can do in your community. I don't know, something, I would go out maybe double days for them, with the moon and Uranus in the 11th house. So specifically for that night, there might be some feeling of not understanding the energies, having that maybe issue, but lean onto the Taurian side. Food is very important to Cancerians as well, and as you said, having a Venus in the 7th house can really help you, because this Venus is not exactly trining, but it's trining by element, all this Taurian energy. So they're working together, kind of. So it's a nice blend to have an enjoyable night after all. But do something, maybe, go out and, for dancing or something. So because if I feel I don't want them to be in their heads too much. With this 8th house, it can go sideways. So if they don't understand it, and pushing to understand something quickly, or that night specifically, or going through other, this is also the house of joint money, joint stuff. Don't talk about that night. I wouldn't go there. No mortgage, no things. Don't talk about stuff like that. Just have fun. Go out. But I would go out if I was a Cancerian, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, I would agree, because that moon energy as their chart ruler will be in Taurus. So that will be, I think, that could be quite like a loving, pleasing experience when they really lean into more of the, okay, like let's think about exploration and adventure with Jupiter, but then also perhaps seeing where their values lie when it comes to community, when it comes to the things that that they're even hoping for. Think about their wishes and hopes for the future, and maybe having a bit of an optimistic outlook towards their hopes and wishes for the future. And because that square then to all of the, as you were saying there, Jasmina, with all the shared resource stuff, maybe there's just a lot of stress there. It's like, how are we going to afford this? How are we going to afford that? I need to, it's just like, but then the Taurus energy just goes, it's okay. We'll get there when we get there. Just slow and steady. Just one foot from the other. Cancer, Cancerians can sort of freak out about their security. Okay, because you like your security. But I really like that. They like to stay home as well.
most of the time. Yeah. So I would encourage them to actually go out this time. Okay. That's my point, because if they stay home, they're going to be more in their heads and in their issues and worry in their worry. This way you can just, go and change change the environment, the scenario. It's going to help them. Martin is asking, is that Venus? So I don't know what the question, what does that mean? But we were talking about Venus for them being in the 7th house, in Capricorn, trining all this Taurian energy in the 11th. It was the. So I don't know if you meant that or anything else. Let us know. Okay, Leos. Leos have a Black Moon Lilith in the 1st house. Woohoo! Okie dokie. Go ahead, please, with that. And they have everything in the 7th. This whole Aquarian energy in the 7th, and in the 10th, a Taurus energy in the 10th. Black Moon Lilith in the 1st. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, Leo is a fixed sign, just like Aquarius and Taurus. So there could be much tension in this way, especially thinking about that Aquarius energy in the 7th. Perhaps many Leos could very well get triggered by what is happening within the relationships. And there could be maybe like arguments, strong disagreements, and maybe these disagreements are even partly tied to work or their profession with that kind of Taurus energy in the 10th. It's sort of like, well, you never make time for me, and where was the last time we did this? There could be some tension there. But then again, perhaps it also is about more so how you can come to a bit of a middle ground, trying to find the common ground in the relationship too, with this T-square energy. And whenever Leos can maybe try to come at it from more of a, okay, well, yes, I hear you, and it's more of a balanced kind of give and take approach, then maybe they can resolve things in a more healthy way. What do you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Leos. I have to be honest, guys. But I'm gonna twist it on a better later, because everything is squaring your energy. Taurus is squaring you. Aquarius is like most planets are squaring you. That means they're gonna challenge you to do something. So if you get your buttons pushed, it's gonna be bad. And it's not hard to get your buttons pushed because you're a Leo. you need attention. Especially for Valentine's Day, like where's my love? Who loves me? Where's my attention? So it's gonna be like a and your urge for drama sometimes. So I love you, Leos. I have a lot of Leos friends. Don't get me wrong, but it just with this energy, it can prompt you the worst out of you. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. So because it's gonna push you to handle situations, and as Hannah said, especially in the relationship area. So figure out, where my heart is, to think about how can you to go on the generous side and share your heart and love and tune in with your joy, and in that sense to find some joy in everything, and don't think about what you need in that sense, but how can you find joy. So don't focus on your needs, let's say, but try to focus on how can I have some joy in my life. What makes my heart happy? What can make, if I'm going on a date, what would I like to do for joy? And I'm saying this 7 times because I want them to think about, not about, I need this. It's not about your need, or, it's about just finding some pleasures and joy in life. I don't know if that makes sense. So I would just focus on that, because they're going to think as well, oh my God, I have issues at workplace. I have issues with the partner if they have, or, they're going to be focused their mind on problems. I feel that they're going to be thinking about problems in their life. So instead of thinking it just for this night and getting your buttons pushed, think about how can you have fun, pure fun. Just go back and have fun. What do you like to do for fun? Do something fun for fun. That's what I would suggest for. It's not going to be easy, but try. Try guys. Right, because it's not gonna be easy. I can see it. Singles are also going to question themselves. Am I worthy of love? Who loves me? They can go through that, right? Being with the like Lilith in the first, they could be even jealous of somebody else's relationships, or what do you think about that for the single Leos?
Yeah, I would agree with that, because that could just as much happen, especially if, for example, so this was where my train of thought is going, is the Taurus energy in the 10th, and I kind of associate that with being like on a public platform. So think about social media. So they could be, for example, going on social media, and the thing obviously about social media is that it's so completely fabricated and it's not real. But the thing is that you're absolutely swamped with all these images, of especially on Valentine's Day, it's like engagements and this and that, da, 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 da. And so I would even just suggest with that, just don't, Leo, just know your worth. Know your worth,
Yes.
okay? Don't give into like hypes, and yes, applaud people, be happy, cheer them on, but do not let that kind of trick, really get to you, where it's like, I'm unworthy and nobody sees me, etc. And I would also suggest, which I like this for Leos, is Palace is in the 5th for Leos, and the 5th is obviously the house that Leo, you traditionally rule. So Palace and Sagittarius, it's like creativity, so much about your creative visions, so much about focusing on what you're working on. And Leos, I think Leos can be quite good at that anyway. But even with Venus in the 6th, that Venus in the 6th energy mixed in with the Neptune energy as well, and the 8th for Leos, that could be like a really good opportunity for Leos, especially if you're single, just to focus on what you're creating. Like, get your imagination, your visions, bringing it to life in this really wild and fun way, but with good structure and form as well, with Venus in Capricorn.
Yes, so go for a paint and wine night. Do you have those in Ireland?
Yeah.
Do you have those? I love those. So that's something creative and fun, and you can go out and not be home alone. So that's and you can interact with some other people there. So that's a fun way to do it. Spend the night, like an example. I just want to go back before we go to Virgo. Jeannie said about Cancerians. I just want to go quickly back. I feel like with the ruler of their ascendant conjunct Jupiter, they're going to get the best gifts for Cancerians. I love that. I think it's really good thing. Yes. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good.
Or I just want to add to that, even just from that idea, just sprung another idea. Possibly Cancerians are the ones who are doing the proposing. A lot of them, because Jupiter.
Yes. That's absolutely possible. Okay, we will see what happens, how this unveils. Okay, Virgos, you have Juno in the 1st house. Maybe you are ready to commit. What do you think about that? And with the moon in the 9th, they, trying something, exploring. So Juno in the 1st, moon and Jupiter and Uranus in the 9th, that really pushes them. And then Aquarius energy is in the 6th. What do we say about Virgos?
Do you want to take the lead on this one, Jasmina?
Yes, sure. So Virgo. I love with Juno in the 1st, and then Venus is in the 5th, right? Venus in the 5th. So they're gonna really think about maybe putting their romance into something more serious and commit to somebody. They might feel that they want to commit to somebody this Valentine's Day. With Venus in the 5th, it's in Capricorn, so as she's ready to do something serious. Trining Juno. I mean, it's a wide trine, but still. So those are both of the energies that we want for commitment. The focus will be, of course, as Virgos, all this Aquarian energies in their house, in the Virgo house, and they're going to be probably obsessed with daily stuff and wanted to get always going to be perfect, like planning a perfect date. It's going to maybe be obsessed about it, that sense, and having it, there's a lot of energies in impacting the day. So try to avoid that. I think that's going to be a little bit tricky. where their heart will be in the ninth house. Something like, definitely if you can travel, I would suggest traveling. And they can also propose on that travel, because, or being proposed with Juno and Venus doing this nice thing, right?
Yeah.
So instead of being, because I think travel will be the best solution, even if you go for like a day trip or something, because so to get out of this everyday situations, because your energies are going to be so obsessed with it. So if you get out and somebody else plans everything, then it's out of your control. If you go somewhere, there's dinner and there's somebody else plans for you, I would rather have somebody else planned for them than they plan, because they can get overly fussy on, oh my god, it's going to be perfect, oh my god. So I would avoid that for Virgos in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and there's so much of that sixth house energy for Virgo, so there could maybe be, even speaking from experience, I'll speak from experience in this one with having a
Okay.
Virgo rising and being quite strong with Virgo. I can be such a workaholic at times, and so caught up on all the things that I need to do throughout the day, all the tasks, responsibilities, and then it's actually kind of, maybe it's hard for me at times just to kind of accept. And I think maybe this is leaning into what you were sort of suggesting too, Jasmina. It's like, if I find it hard just to kind of slow down, my mind is just constantly going, thinking about, I need to do this, and it's just like, no, just relax, just try and take it easy. So maybe a little bit of because when I think of stelliums as well, is I think of the importance of balancing out that stellium versus, with the other sign, and the other sign would be Leo. So that Leo in the 12th, maybe for Virgos, could highlight, just with 12th house activities, relaxation. And I mean, I don't just mean some time off, which Venus in the 5th house can also suggest this, a bit of time off. Yes, much deserved, well needed. But it's more so, when was the last time, Virgo, when it wasn't just about time off, but it was actually being able to completely shut everything down for a few days. And this could be around Valentine's Day, but on the actual day, it's like, don't even think about work or this or that. And of course, this can depend, because you could actually need to work. Not everybody has the day off. But maybe for some Virgos, it is important just to have that self-awareness, and if it is that, you're going on a date with your partner, or you're going away, maybe, as you were saying, they're on a nice trip with your partner, be present with them, and don't just talk about work. Because I know for myself, I'm always talking to my lovely Cancerian partner, who's so supportive, and I'm always like, work, this video, doing this live, and I'm just like, when I hear myself, Hannah, stop talking about work.
No, but that's your life. You talk about your life. The problem is that that becomes your life. So balance it out. That's why I said, and the best way to do it is get out of your routine. So somewhere that you've never been. At least if you go for a dinner or something, go somewhere different. And drive maybe 2 hours to some other city or something that can, and if somebody else can plan for you, I would rather have that than you plan. Because if you start planning, you're going to get, again, this. So no, you should let your partner plan this day for you and just go with the flow. Okay. As much as it's hard for Virgos to do that, that's what I suggest, because otherwise it's going to go on the other side. As you said, you're going to just get fluttered and then this and that. So it's a good time for committing yourself to somebody. If you're in that stage of your relationship in your life, it's a good time to realize, what you want in the sense, like, what do I want from a relationship in the long term? So that's good. Yeah, but you're absolutely right, Hannah. I mean, I'm a Virgo rising as well. I can understand that. What you say. I just want to go through some comments before we move on. We are halfway there. The stellium and the descendant. Jeannie says that a rough combination. They should avoid arguments in relationship. Mercury in the 7th. No, that was for Leo, for Leos. Yeah, that's right. It may be hard to see all the details of what they're standing up for. That's That's true. Martin says, I secretly love a certain Cancerian. Oh, a secret love, Martin. Ooh. And I love this because this Cancerian has a full 8th house. So maybe maybe the secret, that's a good one. Genie, Black Lilith conjunct the Juno, though, so they can be easily triggered by the other party. Yeah, so Genie also says, I agree. Virgo risings need to focus on experiencing joy. That's right. Martin says, my Pluto is in Virgo and South Node. Okay, so you definitely need to go with the flow. Martin, you really need to go with the flow. Martin, astrology mine keeps ticking like a clock. The wheel has many hands. Absolutely. That's really true. And Ginny says, are you trying to kill the Virgos? Release control of your schedule? I don't think some of them can fathom the idea. I'm going to share this comment. Yeah, Ginny, you're right. We don't want to try to kill them, but from our own Virgo rising experience, we're actually telling this to ourselves to slow down and to give some break. To have a break. Awesome. Okay. Let's do Libras. So Libras, you have the Chiron situation in your 7th house. So there's going to be, there's always some wounds. It's happening for many Libras. This is stepping into their own authority of this year and a half is really working on Libras with having Chiron in the 7th. And then the Taurus energy is, where's the Taurus for them?
In the 8th?
In the 8th, yeah. So sorry, yeah. In the 8th, you're right. And the Aquarius is in the 5th. So they have stellium in the house of fun, and what do we say? Casual sex. Libras, naughty Libras. What are they going to do with all this energy in that fun house?
Oh, yeah. Who it could. This one, I think, could be quite a tense one for Libras, honestly, because of the squares between this house of intimacy and shared resources and everything, plus so that square between that house and then the house of like dating and romance and love. Maybe so there's just
like, sorry, the square is between casual sex and intimate sex. That could be, I have to say it. Okay. My Pluto in the 1st house just can't help it to say it out loud. Okay, go ahead.
But then see this energy in combination with the North Node in Chiron and Aries plus the South Node in Libra sign, I think it depends, of course. This is the thing. I think it depends on the amount of healing that's been occurring for Libras on more of a interpersonal level, thinking about relationships and everything. But then I also think that Libras have been in a way forced to address asserting themselves and initiating within relationships and how such things can actually help them be somewhat independent and more direct about what they want within relationships too. But that combination, Mars is the dispositor of Aries.
Yeah.
So that kind of the squares then there between those 5th and 8th houses, there could be some triggers that come up, maybe about shared resources or about when was the last time that we actually like sexually connected in this way, so maybe some power struggles. That's the thing with Pluto too, Pluto can look at power struggles, so power struggles to do with relationships.
And Venus is in the 4th house. And so Venus will, ask for, some stability in their homes. So she will ask for it. But then issues with intimacy, as you mentioned, for Libras, I would suggest that they actually spend the whole night in bed and exploring how to get intimate with their partner. What is the problem? In that sense, don't even just work on that in that area. I'm worried that with single Libras, they might, jump into casual situations and then they will regret it later. So I will not say all of them, maybe not even singles. I'm just saying it could be because of all this that you mentioned, that issues, they might go and towards somebody else, right? Somebody who likes them. It's a Libra rising, remember? And then it's, you know, they might have this casual sex or something happen in that sense, and then, you know, seeking love in the wrong place to get power or to feel that they have power over it. Anyway, I think you broke. I think you froze, Hannah. Hannah, you froze.
Ooh.
Oh no. Oh, here you are. Okay. So Jeannie says.
Sorry. Hello.
Jeannie says deep, fun intimacy with the moon and Jupiter conjunction in the 8th is giving 60 shades of Libras. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
60 shades of Libra. Yes. So as I said, as long as it's with the partner and it's everything is okay, I just don't want them to go on the other side and then regret it afterwards. Because for seeking love, because they would like to be loved by everyone. So if they're not getting it at home the way, you know, just saying. It can be hard for anyway, just saying. Okay. Instant gratification over intimate gratification. Yes, that can happen.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Just, and even just to add to that, like, just remember maybe in this way, because I think that is such, like, that's a really great point that you brought up, Jasmina. Like, maybe it is kind of remembering their sort of values when it comes to, you know, because the 8th house stuff can be tied to committed relationships in that way. And so remembering, you know, their values in that way, maybe that can help with any of the instant gratification stuff as mentioned by Martin.
Yeah. Because the Chiron is in the south, so there's hurt from relationships, you know, so there's a issues with being valued and with the, you know, what is the worth of me. Chiron in the Aries tells us, you know, what are we worth, what is happening, who are we. So that can be, that's why they're a lot of, it's not easy for Libras and Aries people, especially for Libras, I would say that this year, and since the nodes change signs in this, since it's in the south node, right, is in Libra, so they're struggling letting go and finding out. And this Valentine is just a trigger of that energy, I feel, for the node, south node being in Libra. So just have that in mind. Be mindful and think about long term, not short term, maybe in that sense. Okay, Scorpios. So Scorpios have this, they have a moon in the 7th. It's very hard, just like for Leos. And they have all this stellium in Aquarius in the 4th house, a lot of square energy as well, just for Leos. Pushing them, challenging them to, to revisit their home life. What is it home made of? What is happening there? What do you feel?
Ooh, yeah. I think for Scorpio, I think it's an opportunity for Scorpios to be really pushed beyond their limits, which Scorpios typically are pushed beyond their limits in life, you know, with Pluto. But more so when it comes to their family life, when it comes to their emotional needs, their emotional security. But then I actually quite like Jupiter and Venus in Taurus for Scorpio with this one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it could suggest, you know, some sensual experiences, close connection in that way, and maybe wanting to explore things outside of their comfort zone with a partner, perhaps. Yeah,
it can be exciting, and they enjoy intimacy, so it can be very exciting in that intimate department for sure for Scorpios. I like that. Yeah, they have the Taurus in the 7th. I just want to shout out for you. Nikki says, just watched Hannah's Leo 8th house video. I have North Node, Vertex, and Vesta there in conjunction, healing inner child. I just want to give that. And misbehaving, saying that she's a Libra rising and really struggling with past harms, which may have future consequences. Yeah, well, you know, you're aware of so many things misbehaving. You're working on your stuff, so that's very good. That's the first step. There you go. So Lilith is in Leo, says Martin. Okay. Yeah, so for Scorpios, as you mentioned, I do feel that they can have a really good night with their partner. Can't really getting down to business. I would say I don't know what's wrong with me today, but I feel that for they can enjoy that intimate night for sure. I just feel that there's a lot of energy in their house department going. Maybe some things from childhood or from early upbringing that can come up. They can maybe just ruin the evening if they go in that sense, in that area of life. So if they can avoid that, just some triggers, maybe traumas from childhood. That's it from me. You hear me?
Yeah. I'm so sorry, Jasmina. My energy, I don't know. My thing's freezing a bit, but I'm gonna
Okay,
try. I can get through this.
okay.
I will get through
We'll
this.
finish.
It's
We'll
just
finish
my
anyway. We'll
yeah.
finish
It's just my
anyway. So let's
okay. But yeah, go ahead.
that's it. So I'm with Scorpios. I hope they have a great intimate night. I think it's very good for them to have a really good, as you mentioned, intimate night with their partner. Go explore all the pleasures of the body. Enjoy your intimacy. I think it's good for you. Just don't go, as I mentioned, don't go back to your traumas from childhood or something. You can go very deep on the other side. So try to be focused on that night with your partner. Don't go anywhere else with that energy. Yeah. And then for Sagittarius, they have Pallas Athena in the first house, all this Taurus energy in the sixth, and they have Aquarius in the third. What would we say for Sag? Strategize now, strategize. Also, the problem with the moon and all this stuff in the sixth house, it can be consuming their everyday life. What do you feel?
Yeah, it could be that for Sagittarians, with all the Aquarius third house energy, maybe greater learning. There's more of an emphasis on focusing on learning, especially techniques when it comes to managing their
Yeah, so Hannah, as she said, she's going to freeze a little bit
and their psyche.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
It's okay. The third house is house of communication, and having Pluto and Mars there might be issues. I'm just going to quickly say there might be issues with communications. To express your mind and saying what's on your mind, being blunt as you are, it can get you in trouble this Valentine's Day. That would be my saying this. Yes. So you know what I'm saying? So this can be my thought. So they kind of
I think so. And maybe as well there could, with Jupiter and the moon in the sixth house for them, maybe there's something about taking a trip. It could be a work trip that they're on, perhaps on the day, or it's that they find some comfort in spending some time just catering more towards their health, supporting themselves. I think it is a lot to do with that mind-body connection for Sagittarius.
Yes.
But then in this way, it's because it's all below the horizon, isn't it?
Yes.
In that way for Sagittarius. So there's just a greater focus on like their own sort of personal world and how they would like to maneuver through that world in a way that can be useful and beneficial for them and other people around them long term, because Sagittarius tends to sort of find the meaning. They're always seeking meaning in whatever they're doing, that kind of way. Yeah.
So Jeannie, she says she's a Sag rising. We are going to be benefit from mindful speaking. Exactly. We need to slow down and think about how the energy is being received. I like that. Yes. So maybe listen more, talk less for you this Valentine's Day. In that sense, I think that would be number one thing. that you can benefit from having a great date. For the singles, mingle around your neighborhood, around your local community, this local area. Find something nice to do, and just, communication is going to be the key in a sense, but hearing the other side, as you said. Yeah. So misbehaving, saying Sag, Moon, and Sun, definitely time to get my self-expression out there and my mental stress triggers by my autoimmune issues. See? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah. I hope you get better. I hope you can handle this. Yeah. So think about that in that sense. So have like a quiet night. Okay. Who's next? Capricorns. You froze a little bit again. Okay, so for Capricorns, we have a Venus in the first house. This can be really nice and romantic for you. You're back. Okay. I was just saying, so Capricorns, they have Venus in the first. She's doing all these beautiful connections with the Taurian energy, which is where is Taurus then? In the fifth, right? So they have Moon and Jupiter in the fifth. So Capricorns can really have some fun this evening. Really enjoy, having some pleasurable night, full of beautiful, very romantic. They can have, actually, I know the Capricorns usually are not one for the romance, but with Venus in the first and having the Taurian Moon, Jupiter in the fifth, it's all about romance, I would say. Have a romantic evening, Capricorns, as much as it maybe sounds hard and for you, but this, I would really think you can benefit a lot from this. And Aquarius is in the second, a lot of energy. You could also give and get a lot of nice, expensive gifts, and you enjoy luxury gifts anyway, Capricorn. So indulge yourself, give yourself or your partner a nice gift, have a romantic evening. Go beyond, like be luxurious. Be luxurious this Valentine. Be a CEO of Valentine's Day. Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
I think I'm frozen. Go.
So
now you're frozen again. Okay.
The Venus or Capricorns, that can be really positive for them. Or with Taurus, some time off. Yes, some travel, dating, like fifth house of dates. So date, pleasure, and just really try and indulge, like Jasmina says, Capricorn, and accept the love and the praise and all of the downtime. Just accept it during Valentine's Day. Whatever, really great things come, just appreciate it, take it in. Yeah, and the CEO of Valentine's Day. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that was my take on Capricorns. Yeah, it's a good one because they can really have it this time. They can have the best Valentine's Day. Very good energies are on their side. Okay, because Hannah's breaking up, we're gonna fast forward. We have 2 more signs. Let's quickly do it. So Aquarius, this is all in your first house, a powerhouse. This is what is. Go, please, Hannah. Tell me, you're not frozen. Talk.
Yes. So yes, Aquarius, this could be a good time period really to transform greatly when it comes to your identity, when it comes to your life path. Good opportunity to reinvent yourself in this way. And that mixed in with the fourth house energy, I think. Okay, sure, the fixed energy can suggest power struggles with all the fixed, so much fixed going on. So that I would say, just be careful. Try not to come across as like demanding or authoritative, especially when it comes to romance and love. Just try and just allow for some pleasure, right? Pleasure, comfort, ease. Feel into it, Aquarius. Come from the mind and into the heart, into the body during Valentine's Day.
Yes, for you, stay at home, cook dinner, and I would do that with the Taurus in the fourth house. Cook dinner at home with your partner. Cook together. Maybe you eat later, and then whatever. But I'm just in that sense, you can enjoy preparing the meal together and having dessert, whatever. So everything. So this will be really good because you're gonna feel good. I think Aquarius are gonna really, really, really feel good this Valentine's Day. They're gonna feel in tune with themselves, as Hannah said. So very good. And then Pisces, poor Pisces always have to wait for the end, but you're not frozen, so I'm gonna let you go and talk about Pisces.
Okay.
So they have Saturn and Neptune in the first, and all this Aquarian energy in the 12th.
Yeah, Pisces. Yes, Venus in the third, Neptune in the first. Good time for creative visualization, journaling, some solitude as well for many Pisces too. And even if you're in a relationship, go on a retreat, like a spiritual retreat, a fun retreat, escape with your partner, just do something as a form of like rest and escapism, right? Entertain like your imagination with all that 12th house energy going on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say for Pisces.
Yeah. They're good because they have a Taurus in the third house. They're gonna actually feel they really want to communicate and have some kind of a connection in that sense. Usually they don't like that, but I think that's very good. The thing with the self-worth is going to be maybe issue with the Aries in the second house, like the thinking of what am I worth, what is happening. So a lot of escaping. So I would also, for Pisceans, I would go, if you cannot physically solitude and stuff, do something artistic in a way, or just escape, watch a movie night for you, definitely, because you have Neptune in the first, and you have all this in the 12th house. Somebody can, and watch something romantic, put the music on, get that feeling of, how can you ground yourself, but in your own way? I don't know if that makes sense. So music, movies, that way, and then you can just enjoy the night with a partner in that sense. Even if you're alone, you might be okay with it. To be honest, I think this time Pisceans won't even I'm alone this Valentine's Day and I don't care and I don't mind that kind of energy for Pisces rising. So that's good. I like that. I just want to give a Jeannie really a shout out. She was a great listener. She said, yes, for Sag rising, I've been learning at lightning speed, Uranian stuff. And of course, teaching cause Jupiter rules the chart, and it's in our house of analyzing along with the ruler of the third. And she wanted to validate that. Thank you. Validate what we said. And Cav says, brilliant live ladies, feeling better about Valentine's Day this year. Yay. Nikki says, we Capricorn rising sleep, right? Actually, not this Valentine's Day. You're not sleeping, Capricorns. You have a great to have an amazing, luxurious Valentine's Day. Put it all there, all out there. Don't be cheap. Enjoy it. Martin, I'm being a wonder, being an Aquarius with a Venus in the same sign and house. Sounds like an intimate night alone. What the heck? This is exactly something that Aquarian would say. But
yeah,
I love it. I mean, if you have a Venus, Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius natally, all these planets are working, and they are actually prompting her to do something. There's Mars there and Pluto. This Venus in Aquarius, your Venus in Aquarius doesn't really want to be alone this Valentine's Day. I think she wants to explore and do something, because all this energy is actually touching her. So she's like, look at it. Mars is talking to me. This is talking to me. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up. Jeannie, amazing live. Thank you for your time and sharing your knowledge. A pleasure. Can't wait to catch the next live. You guys are so much fun in Clubhouse. Okay.
I love it. On Astrology Clubhouse.
Yeah. We all might do something about it. I'm crazy enough. Trust me. My brain works. Hannah, thank you so much. Before we have enough time to tell everybody what is happening with you right now. What are you offering? Quickly.
You can check me out on Patreon. You can become a member of the Patreon. There's going to be a new series coming. So you'll be able to find out what the series is early, but yeah, it'll be coming soon. So excited. Thank you for having me, Jasmina. It's been so much fun. Yay.
I know it's always fun talking to you. I just want to tell everybody that Hannah and I, along with Fernanda, are going to have a special live in a couple of weeks. I'm going to put everything out there this week, so you're going to hear us again in the month of February. It's going to be a great collaboration as well. So that's it. And if anybody wants to, I had a workshop on elemental balance. It went really great. So if anybody wants to do the workshop, go register on my website, and then I'll do another one maybe beginning of March. Okay, that's all from me. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank
Hugs
you.
and kisses, as my son would say, and all the best. See you later, guys. The Clubhouse app. It's an interactive audio app. We have lots of astro chats, and there it's like being the radio with a group of people. Okay, Jeannie has an idea, a Clubhouse astro app. Okay, I have to talk to my husband now. He can develop something for us.
Love.
Bye, guys. See you.
Bye.